Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, let us learn and see about AWS Datasync. Why this AWS Datasync is used? This AWS Datasync is used to transfer or to move data from your on-premise data center to AWS. For this case, mainly for this purpose, we use Datasync in order to move our data from on-premise data storage to AWS storage services. That means we are moving storage type data. So let's say we have already learned DMS, data migration service, and database migration service, and we have also learned about MGN, that is AWS application migration service. Now, still I am having those two. Why I need to learn about this AWS data sync? You need to learn about this data sync to move your storage type data, because DMS, that is data management, data migration, database migration service, will transmit or move your data from a on-premise to AWS. Only database service is migrated, only database related data only moved. Whereas if you see about application, there your whole application data is moved. Coming to here, we only moving which type of data? Storage data from on-premise to AWS storage services. Okay. Let's say I want to move. Then to which storage services can I able to move? We can able to move to S3, EFS and FSX, and we can able to move to Snow family devices as well. For these storage services, you can able to move your data from your on-premise storage data to AWS storage services. So let's say you have your data in AWS storage services. One of these storage services, either object storage or file storage services like EFS or FSX and Snowcone. Now you are expecting to move your data from these storage services to on-premise storage data. In that case, can I use this data sync to move my data from AWS storage services to these on-premise storage data? Yes, we can able to move our data, storage data from on-premise storage services to this, from AWS storage services to on-premise storage data by using this data sync. So by using this data sync, we can able to move data between on-premise storage data and AWS storage data. Either in which way you want, that way you can able to move. From on-premise storage data to AWS, you want to move your data, you can able to move. From AWS storage service to on-premise storage data, you want to move, you can able to move by using this data sync. Let's say I want to move my data between these services. I want to move my data between storage services. Can I able to move my data between storage services by using this data sync? Yes, we can able to move by using data sync. By using data sync, even we can able to transfer data between one storage service in AWS to another storage service in AWS. Let's say you want to move your data from S3 to EFS. Is it possible by using data sync? Yes, it is possible to move your data from one storage service to another storage service as well. So what is the purpose of this data sync? The main purpose of this data sync is only data movement or data transfer. Let's say I want to move my data from on-premise storage data to AWS storage data. Then at what speed this data sync will move my data. It supports over 10 gigabytes per second, 10 GBs per second. If you are transmitting over a network link, then it supports 10 Gbps, 10 gigabytes per second. You can able to move your data, storage data from your on-premise to AWS storage services or AWS storage services to on-premise with a speed of 10 Gbps over network. For this, you can even use a endpoint for AWS as VPC endpoints you can use. Let's say you are expecting to move your data from on-premise storage service to S3 or S3 to on-premise. Then you need to provide the endpoint for this S3, right? Yeah. In that case, you can able to create gateway endpoint for this S3, and then you can able to provide that endpoint to this data sync, and you need to provide the endpoint of on-premise storage data as well to this data sync. Specify what is your source endpoint, what is your destination endpoint, and perform your migration task by using this data sync so that your data is moved with over 10 Gbps in a network link. So this is about speed. So what about charge? For about charge, for every GB of data transfer, per GB of data transfer or data movement, we will be charged for this data sync. So per GB of data transfer, we will be charged for this data sync. In real time, how the connectivity happened in between on-premise storage and AWS. So in real time, what happens is you need to install data sync agent at on premises, right? You need to install data sync agent. You need to install this data sync agent at on premises. So after installing this data sync agent on your on premise, then you can able to connect with data sync service which is already available under AWS. So after installing this data sync on your on-premise, now by using the data sync, you can able to connect to your on-premise data sync agent, and even you can able to collect the data. You can able to collect whatever the data which is collected by the data sync agent, and you can able to analyze your data under data sync, and this data sync even provide you a report where that report contains suggestion of which storage service is better for you to transfer from on-premise storage data to AWS. Which storage service is better for you? That report is provided by this. Now, based on that suggestion, you can able to choose corresponding very effective and best AWS storage service, and you can able to migrate your data from your source to your destination. So can I able to provide the source as well, source data in the data sync? Yes. So in the data sync, you have task. In order to move your data, you have an option called task. You need to create your task under the data sync. In the task, you need to specify your source as well as your destination so that your data, whenever you execute this task, your data is moved from your on-premise data storage to AWS cloud storage service by using this data sync. So what about security, sir? I am moving my data from on-premise storage data to AWS. In between, while my data is in transmission mode, how do I get security for my data? In between, hackers may hack, right? Yeah. So in order to provide security while data transfer, you have an option called TLS certification. So you need to provide this TLS encryption, TLS layer. You need to provide this TLS layer to your data while executing the task or configuring your task. You need to provide this as well. So this TLS indicates transmission layer security. So by using this certificate, it can able to encrypt your data and transmit your data. So if you use this TLS, then in this way you can able to provide security for your data while transmitting by using this data sync. And after data transfer, obviously your data is stored under one of the storage service. So there, obviously the storage services will provide you security, right? You can able to encrypt the data at rest as well. So in this way, you can able to provide security as well for your data, even in transition or else after at storage. Let us see directly from AWS Management Console how to configure the options for performing the task of moving our data from one storage service to another storage service. So for that, so first you need to search for data sync. In this, by using this data sync, you can able to transfer data between regions as well. So whenever you require data transfer between regions, then also this will be available option for you. You can see under this newly entering console look like. So I want a task, right? Yes. So click on task. You can see create task. So click on it. So I want to transfer data between S3, one bucket of S3 to another bucket of S3 data. So for that, so you can see first it is asking source location details. So I want to, it is asking me source location point. So it is a create a new location point or choose the existing location. So if you want to choose an existing location, then click here. If you want to create new source point, then click here. You can see how many storage type does it supports. We have mentioned about S3, FSX, EFS. It also supports Hadoop distribution file system, Microsoft Azure blob storage, NFS, object storage, and server message blogging. So these many types it supports. You can choose based on your choice. Let's say I want to store in S3. So I clicked on S3. You can see the region is provided. If you want, you can change it as well based on your requirement. Now I want to put my data under one of my bucket. So I want to select data. So in this bucket, I have some data. I expecting that data as source data. I want to move it to another bucket. So this is having some data. I want to move this raw data to transformed data in this bucket data to in this bucket. So for that, I'm configuring what task in data sync. So just I moved it up. You can see IAM role. So in order to access that data, you need to provide an IAM role, right? Yes. So I just provided this. So now you can see you can even provide tags to identify this. So I'm just clicking on next. You can see it is asking me the destination location options. So what is this destination location options indicates? It indicates where you want to store your, where you want to where you want to move your data. So I want to move to S3 bucket. There you can see the transformation bucket. So it's loading. After loading, you can see the transformed bucket. There I want to move. So in this scenario, can I say I want to move to another region, newly created bucket, my data? Yes, we can able to move our data to another region newly created bucket as well from this data sync. So you can see it is specifying the storage class as well. If you have any requirement, then you can even choose folder as well. Here, in order to access this bucket, transformed bucket, so we need to provide IAM access, right? So I just provided this. You can say I'm clicking next. Now task name you need to provide. So I want to provide task one as task name. And then contents under the source, which content you want to scan. Everything or only some specific files you want to transfer. I want to scan everything. So I'm clicking on everything. If you want to exclude some files or folders, then write here that. So currently I'm not expecting to do that. So I'm not doing anything there. You can see transfer options. You can transfer only data that is changed, that is in between source and destination bucket. Only the data which is default that will be transmitted here. If you want to transfer all data, then click here so that all data will be transferred. You can see verification. Verify the data transferred only or all data which is present in the destination or integrity during transfer. So based on your choice, you can choose one among them. So I want to check only the verify only the data which is transmitted. So here you can see bandwidth limit. So based on this, your speed will be. Even you can set the bandwidth limit by your own manually here. So currently I'm not expecting. So I'm just clicking here for available. So you can see it also has additional settings, copy object tag as well as queuing data. You can see schedule. If you want to perform this task by scheduled way, then you can able to choose one of the way. If you want custom scheduling, then you can even provide your custom scheduling here. Or else if you want hourly execute this task, then you can provide hourly execute here. Or else if you don't want to schedule it again, then not scheduled. Click here. Then you can see you can even provide tags for it. Task report. So the summary regarding this task you want, then click here, or else a standard report you want, then click here. So currently I'm not expecting any logs. So you can see logging. So whatever the task that is performed, that you can even able to save that under CloudWatch log, right? Yeah. So here you need to select one of the CloudWatch logs so that there your log related to this task that will be saved. So I selected one of the CloudWatch log that I have created previously. So I'm just clicking on next. You can see everything is done. Source location I have provided, destination location I have provided, and I have configured the settings regarding data transfer. And you just click on create task so that your task will be created and your data will be moved. Now I'm just canceling it because your task will be created. Whenever you click on it, then you can select the task and under the actions you can able to perform the task. Currently I'm not expecting to run the task, so I just cancel the task. So these are the options that you need to go through while creating the task. You can even individually create locations and use these locations while providing source location as destination location. Just click on create location and specify the location here. So these are AWS services locations. If you want, you can able to create them and you can even save them. If you don't want, you don't even need to save those locations and directly configure those locations under the task. Even whatever the task that you performed, those will be visible under your task history. Sir, while explaining, you have already told that we can able to transfer our data from our on-premise to AWS storage services. That you haven't shown here, right? So how to do that? So in order to transfer your data from on-premise to AWS by using this data sync, first you need to install data sync agent in your on-premises. So that agents are available here. So you have to create an agent. You can see the agents. EC2 agent is available. So on this EC2, whatever the storage is there, that will be captured by using this agent. If you create agent for EC2, or else if you create Microsoft Hypervisor Hyper-V agent, then it will deploy, or it will only select whatever the data which is on top of your hypervisor. So like that, you're having multiple agents. So based on your requirement, you need to choose one of the agent. Now you can see service endpoint. So which location you want to create your service endpoint, that is in North Virginia. Regarding public service endpoint or FIPS endpoints, you need to choose them. Or else if you want VPC endpoint using private link, you create, if you want, then you can choose this as well, VPC endpoint with private link. So you can even create an endpoint here. You can see activation key. You can manually enter that agent activation key from here, or else you can use automatically generated activation key here and provide that agent address here and get the key. So in this way, you can able to get that agent, right? Yeah. So here you can see like this, you can able to create an agent. Now let us see what is this discovery. This discovery is actually creating a connection between your, that means you are adding a storage, you are adding your on-premise storage here by using the agent that you created previously. By using that agent, you can able to add storage here. So after creating the agent from your on-premise by using your on-premise data center storage, you can add your storage here. So you can see it was specifying that can't find any agent, can't find any agent. So if you create an agent, then only it will be available to you to use. You can able to add your agent here. So you can see the options, that is storage type and storage name, management interface, credentials, agent, what are the agent that you created, and logs related to the task that you performing, and click on add agent, add storage type, then your storage type will be created here. So this is about data sync, about how to transfer data from your on-premise to AWS. First, you need to deploy agent on your on-premise data center, and then optionally you can discover the storage. Then you can able to transfer your data. So this is the way you can able to transfer your data. In between storage types also, how do you transfer your data? That also you have seen. So you can see you can pay $0.0125 per GB. So I have already told you, while transmitting your data, while moving your data, you will be charged per GB. Per GB, you will be charged some amount. So this charge may vary while your data transferring. So be focused on that. In this way, you can able to transmit your data between your AWS service and on-premise to AWS storage. So storage services. I hope you understood this video and you have a good knowledge with when do you use data sync and how to use and configure the options which are present in AWS Management Console. So I hope this video is contentful regarding AWS Data Sync. I hope this video is understanding to you. If you feel this video is understanding to you and this video is contentful, then please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. Thanks for watching again. See you back in the next video with another interesting topic. Until then, bye bye guys.